I have this marriage certificate here, like, and folks at the embassy was like, yeah, let us see that. So they grab it, they look at it, they scan it, they did their little test on it to make sure it was legit, and they were like, ma'am, this is a fake marriage certificate. No shit, there I was. All right, it is 2012. We are in Tajikistan, and we're doing a J-set, right? We're training the Tajik Special Forces on SOP development, on small unit tactics, and also how to shoot on the range, right? We're in Dushanbe at this point, right? That's their capital. So we would train them from 7 in the morning, give or take, and then by noon, they're done, right? They're done training, they eat lunch, and they go home. So it's a pretty legit deployment, right? Because Tajikistan is pretty permissive. So we train them from, 7 to noon, and then the rest of the time we're, in the pool, we're out in the local economy, we're going out on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and Sundays, and just having a good old time, right? Now, this particular day, we got done training, and we went out, right? I want to say we were day drinking. I think that was one of the days where we just went on a bender. It was leading into the weekend where we started drinking at like noon, right? And then we just spent the rest of the day just drinking and going to bars and having a good old time, right? Now, fast forward, we find ourselves in a night establishment. We were regulars there, right? We've been there a couple of times. This is about 2 months into the actual deployment. As foreigners, as Americans, as soldiers, like some of the guys that we were training, they work at those establishments at night as security guards or whatever. So they knew who we are. So we would walk in these places and they would treat us like, superstars, right? The freaking C would freaking parting, and we would walk through. We would get like VIP treatments. We get all these tables, like we're just having a good old time. Now, this particular night, we're out there having a good old time, and something happened, right? I always say that our 18 Bravos are always the source of all evil, right? Everything that happens when we're out and about, it's probably because 18 Bravo's done something that he should have done, right? And I'm going to keep pushing my 18 Bravo to come on the show. I want to get him on there so you guys can put a name to the face every time I say Chris, right? But something happened to where we had to leave the club immediately. Right? So security guard got us all round up. They essentially kicked us out. We go outside, and then all hell breaks loose. Now, we're outside. We're trying to figure out what's going on. And then my buddy's like, yeah, this chick over there asking for a cell phone. I don't have a fucking cell phone, but I don't know what's going on. And she kept coming at us. We kept, diffusing the situation. And in Muslim culture, like when females are involved, the guys are very responsive, right? If they see a foreigner arguing with a girl that is from that country, like they're going to get involved. That's just how they are. They're very protective, right? So now outside of this club was a roll of cab drivers. I'm talking about this thing went on for miles. Right? Because what they typically do, they'll show up and they'll park, and as people are leaving the club, they would give them rides to go to where they're supposed to go, right? So as this is developing, this girl's asking for a cell phone. We're like, we don't have it. We don't know what you're talking about, right? She's being aggressive. We're diffusing the situation. Out of nowhere, these cab drivers started massing up, right? They started building a perimeter around us, right? Encircling us. And we're like, what in the world is going on? It's about to go down, right? So these cab drivers kept coming. They kept coming. There had to be like 100 cab drivers. And now this is not Afghan math, right? This is no shit legit 100 plus dudes, right? So they kept coming, and eventually something happened and everything just erupted. We just went to blows with these cab drivers, right? It was something like out of a movie. They just kept piling up on us, and we just kept pushing them back. We kept swinging, right? And next thing I know, like, we're in a full out just brawl. Just bodies getting thrown everywhere. My buddy's getting punched. He's on the floor. He's getting his ass beat, right? My medic, he's pulling dudes off. He's chunking them, right? And I remember this vividly because This is one of the reasons why I don't drink to the point where I lose control, or to the point where I can't think straight, right? Like, I'll typically have a beer, the most two if I'm at home, and I'm done. Because at this point, I was pretty drunk, right? And I was probably the biggest I've ever been as far as muscle mass when I was in Tajikistan. Because we would no shit, get home, I would hit the gym. Like, I was huge, right? And I remember these guys are coming, and I'm just hitting them. And they're no shit, like Street Fighter style, just flying as I'm hitting them. And I'm like, holy shit, like, I'm going to end up killing somebody, or I'm going to end up hurting somebody to the point where I'm going to get myself thrown in jail, right? But I'm thinking this, but I was still hitting dudes, right? So finally, we had our cab drivers that were responsible for us. They took us everywhere we wanted to go within that city. They were assigned to us. They were able to round us up, and they got us in the car. And as we're driving off after this fight, we're all doing like head-to-toe checks, make sure everybody's good, make sure everybody has their equipment, their cell phone, their ID card. And like, as we're in the cab, we're leaving, you know, we're joking around, bullshitting, and we're like, oh shit, I don't think we paid our tab, right? So in the midst of all this, we left and we didn't pay our tab. So now we're freaking out because we're like, oh fuck, the club is gonna get a hold of the embassy. They're gonna tell them that we didn't pay our tab. Now the embassy's gonna get involved. They're gonna see video footage of this unfolding. We're getting kicked out of the country. So everybody's paranoid, right? And this was like, this was like 1 a.m, right? And the club was about to close. We didn't want to go back there because the cab drivers were still out there. If we went back there, we're just gonna, reestablish the conflict. And we were like, no, we're done. Like, we're calling it a night, right? So on the way home, we're all sitting there, it's nice and quiet. A random cell phone starts fucking ringing. So we're like, so we're looking around and we're like, pick up your phone. Like, whoever it is, pick up your phone, right? And we turn back, and my buddy, Chris, he pulls out this random cell phone, and he was like, this is the cell phone that chick was looking for, right? So we, no shit, had her cell phone the entire time. I don't know what happened, why he didn't realize he had her cell phone, but he had it the entire time. And we're out there fighting and throwing hands, defending him, thinking he didn't have that, right? So yeah, so we get back to the place we were staying, awesome place, right? And we wake up in the morning and we told some of the other guys like what took place, because this was just half of the team. There was 3 or 4 dudes, team sergeant, a captain, Fox, Charlie. Like, there were some guys back at the base still, and we're like, hey man, like, this is what took place. And that morning, my Charlie actually went to the establishment, paid our tab before they can get the word out that Americans skipped out on their tab, right? And then the team sergeant found out, right? He was pissed. We ended up getting grounded and couldn't go out for a while, and then we were banned from going back to that particular club. But yeah, guys, I share that story with you because you got to know your limits, right? You got to know when to call it a quits and when to go all out, right? Again, like I mentioned, because of that specific incident, like, you'll never find me out and about drunk to the point where I can't control myself, right? This segment is brought to you by GreenBeretChronicles.com, guys. I have several different products on there for you guys. I have a prep course if you're interested in going to Special Forces selection and assessment. Then I have the workout program that I put together for you guys, Body by Jay. While you're on there, guys, make sure you visit the Green Beret Chronicles shop, where you have several different t-shirts, to include this one that I have on here right now, guys, along with the running and gunning one. And then you also have patches and stickers on there, all right? And then I also have the SFAS purchase list, as far as things you can purchase from Amazon that's going to help you out at SFAS. I will link all of that below for you guys, all right? And again, the last 2 are free, my gift to you to help you get selected. With all that said, guys, let's get back to the episode. Hey, check it out, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Turn on your notification bell, right? Because I want to start sharing some of these stories with you guys to give you guys an insight into how Special Forces guys think, right? So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss any more content, right? So this one is coming straight out of the Red Empire 7th Special Forces group, right? So we're at SWIC and we're hanging out, right? SWIC is our schoolhouse, right? Special Warfare Training Center. And we're hanging out, we're bullshitting as instructors, and we're just telling stories, right? we're just having a good old time, right? So this 7 group dude, he was like, dude, I got a story for you. That shit was hilarious, right? Now, we all know how each group has their stigmas, right? Like, one of 7 groups is, hey, one family in the States, another one in, South America, right? So it was like, whatever, man, it is what it is. I don't point my moral compass at you. You don't point your moral compass back at me, right? We're good. All right, so he's telling us this story. He's like, dude, I had a teammate, right? He's, we go down to Colombia and we're having a good old time. Now, this dude is fairly young, right? He's with his high school sweetheart. He's just this humble, all-American dude. Has never ventured out of his town, never ventured out of the country, and now he's in 7th group, right? Blonde hair, blue eye, just very desirable kid, right? He goes to Latin America, Colombia to be exact, and he is exposed to Latinas, right? Bro, this dude spent 3 or 4 months just losing his shit, just having a good old time. And the chicks out there, we all know they're looking for ticket to the big PX, right? That's the running joke within groups. Like, wherever you go, wherever you meet, they're all looking for a ticket to the big PX, right? They want to come to the States. They want a piece of the American dream, right? So this dude goes in there and he sells this chick a fucking dream, right? Martin Luther King, I have a dream, like, this is happening, right? Sold her that shit. And she ate that shit up, right? By the way, enjoy Martin Luther King's Day, all right, guys? I know today's that day that we take to celebrate, so make sure you guys enjoy it, right? But yeah, he sold her the dream, and she bought every bit of it, right? She was like, yeah, I want to get married. I want to go back to the States, blah, blah, blah. Like, yes, right? And he was like, yep, we're doing it. So this dude enlisted the help of his teammates, right? And again, teammates, we're ride or die. Regardless of what you got going on, we're here to support, right? That's just what we do, right? That's how the team commodity is, right? Whatever a teammate needs, regardless sometimes of how fucked up it is, like, we're in, especially if it's, funny, right? So he's like, bet, I need you guys to perform a wedding ceremony, right? I still got a month left. This chick won't leave me alone. She wants to get married, so we're getting married so she can leave me alone. I can go back to the States, and whenever I'm, back here, we'll hang out. Whenever I'm in the States, I'll be in the States, right? So he's like, yeah, this is the plan. Let's do it, right? So his teammates, they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, man. Like, this will be interesting. So they set up this makeshift wedding, right? And set up a wedding. He was there, she was there, a couple of close families and friends were there on her side, and they get married, right? So what he did was he went online and found this fucking makeshift, like, marriage certificate and filled it out, ran it through the freaking copier a couple of times. He gave it to us like, yep, this is your ticket home, right? This is it. Like, we're married, all right? But I got to go back to the States. My team is redeploying. I'll be back, all right? So he leaves. Now, while he's in the States, no communication. It's like that she never existed. And now she's getting the itch. She was like, yo, I'm married to an American. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I haven't heard from him. Like, what is going on, right? So she goes to the embassy, to the United States Embassy down in Colombia. She's like, yo, like, I'm married to an American, right? I haven't heard from him. Like, can you help me get in contact with them, right? And she's like, yeah, I have this marriage certificate here, like, and folks at the embassy was like, yeah, let us see that. So they grab it, they look at it, they scan it, they did their little test on it to make sure it was legit, and they were like, ma'am, this is a fake marriage certificate, right? It's printed on like 8x11, like regular printer paper, and there's all sorts of typos on here. Like, this is not a legit document, right? They sent her away, right? Now, needless to say, like, she was pissed, right? So now, fast forward, the team redeploys to Colombia for another rotation, and he goes to, the village, to the home or whatever, the bullshit, and hang out. And that's when everything just fucking imploded, right? She went off, hey, you gave me this, it's fake, blah, blah, blah. And the whole fucking situation just blew up in this dude's face, right? And now teammates, of course, are on like fucking cleanup duty. They're trying to put shit back in the box and they're helping him navigate this issue. Eventually, shit got to the command and then got to his personal life, got to his house, got to his wife back home, and everything blew up in his face, right? So, guys, I share this story to tell you that, hey, we're not God, right? I get it. You get through that point in your life, you're on a team, you're living that high to where you think you can just move pieces around and make shit happen and Like, that's not how it works, man. Like, things have a way of always working themselves out, right? So don't be that dude, man. Like, if you're an influential guy and you have weaknesses, stay away from those weaknesses, man. Like, that's what I do. I just don't put myself in those situations where I know I'm going to fail, right? I just don't do it, man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy those two stories, man. I got a good laugh out of it because it just showed me, like, man, the extent that dudes are willing to go to fucking shape a certain situation, right? Just blows my mind. But yeah, guys, again, like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Until next time, take care.